hello everyone, it's lovely to be here. My name's Sally. I'm a stand-in comedian, not a stand-up comedian. My son's one of those, but he couldn't make it tonight. He's got food poisoning. Now, he booked this gig ages ago and we didn't want to let Lewis down, so I thought I'd take his place. I've got a lot of time on my hands since the Samaritans asked me to leave. I did try adult education, but words cannot describe the humiliation that was watercolour for beginners. They changed me to the life drawing class, and that was even worse. I know they say a bad workman blames his tools, but there are some images not even a 6B pencil can capture. After that, I had a brief foray into politics, and I formed my own party, the Ruislip Reactionaries. I stood against Boris Johnson in the election last year, you may remember. He's doing well, isn't he? And then after that there was the first aid training, but I can't talk about that until after the court case. Anyway, I've got Johnny's notebook and I'm going to try and do his act. I hope that's all right. Right. The first thing he's written is virginity. Well, as he's not here, I think I can tell you, he was quite late losing his virginity. He had terrible acne when he was a teenager, you see, and I think it put the girls off. They couldn't see past it. So eventually, my husband and I took him to our doctor, who prescribed these fantastic tablets, and they cleared Johnny's skin up just in time for him to go to Magaluf with his friends after the A-levels, and I gather there he made up for lost time. But then he had to visit another doctor when he got back. Well, you seem very friendly, so I think I can share something else with you. I was quite late losing my virginity as well. I was 20. That's because I wanted the first one to be special. And he was. He had special requirements. By that I mean he could only become aroused if we made love outside. And I didn't mind that because I'm quite broad-minded, but we were going out in November, so it wasn't ideal. My next boyfriend was a masochist, and he begged me to hurt him, so I slept with his best friend. He said that wasn't what he meant. So I tried to think of something else. I waited till he'd videoed the whole of the Japanese Grand Prix, and then, just as he sat down to watch it, I told him who'd won. I think one of the other reasons, I think one of the other reasons I didn't have sex when I was a teenager is because my mother used to say to me, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And I'm not too good in the kitchen. But after a while I realised that if you go down about 6 inches, it's a lot quicker, more effective, and you don't have to stand up for so long. Another thing my mother used to say, if she saw an ugly person walking down the road, was, well, he can't help what he looks like, but he should stay indoors. Now, I think this is the point where one of the, but this is when most comedians say, let me tell you a bit about myself, and I'm going to do that. As I said, my name's Sally, and I've been married to Roger for 26 years. Seems longer. Now, some of you here will know that when you've been with the same person for a long time, things can get a little stale in the sex department. But I was still quite upset when Roger said to me the other day, "You're boring in bed. Why don't you ever surprise me? Dress up or something." So the next day, when he got home from work, I did surprise him. I was wearing his mother's clothes. I always thought he wanted me to be a bit more like, you see, but it didn't go down well. I think it was too soon after the funeral. The CPR training came in handy, though. Now, in case you think I'm being a bit cruel, I have to tell you that Roger's been doing a number of things recently that really irritate me, like waking up. Having said that, his snoring is horrific, so it's really touch and go, which is preferable. I think about leaving him often, but he couldn't manage on his own. For instance, the other day I gave him a shopping list and I sent him off to the supermarket. He was gone for 2.5 hours, and when he got back, the car boot was filled with 100 bread rolls. I had written loo rolls. Think about it. So of course then I had to go back to Tesco's with a shopping list and do the shopping, and when I was there I needed to use the loo. I was very surprised to find there was a condom machine in the ladies at Tesco's. I know, you're surprised, aren't you? You thought I shopped at Waitrose. What else have we got here? Oh, Tinder. No idea what that is. Oh, weed. Oh, I do know what that is. In my day, we used to call it dope. Some of you here might remember that. Now, I don't smoke, so I can't inhale, but I did have a boyfriend who gave me some dope in a cake once, and I ate this cake, and I went straight to sleep. And when I woke up, my boyfriend was watching the Muppets on television, and he was roaring with laughter. I joined in, and that's when I knew I was high, because the Muppets are rubbish, aren't they? BJ. Well, when I first saw this, I thought he meant Boris Johnson, because he doesn't like him. And then I thought, well, it could be bungee jumping, because that's one of his hobbies. And then I realised what he meant. Now, I'm not too keen on this, but Roger is, so I will oblige occasionally, because I find afterwards he's much more willing to clean the oven. Little tip for you ladies there. Now, my friend Angela, she's divorced, and she hasn't got anyone to clean her oven. But she does find that the way to get her odd jobs done is to date somebody who's in the trade. So last year she went out with a plumber and she got her boiler replaced, and then she went out with an electrician and got the whole house rewired. And at the moment she's being her car's being serviced because she's going out with a mechanic. And she brought one of the boyfriends home to meet her children. And the first thing her daughter said to him was, "Are you going to be my new daddy?" Which was a bit awkward because Emily's 22 and Dean can't be more than 30. So apparently there was a bit of a stunned silence, and then her son Simon came in with, "Well, if you are going to be my new daddy, you're going to have to sleep with Tanya from the coffee shop and then blow all your redundancy money on a Harley Davidson." She showed me a picture of part of one of her boyfriends. Didn't make me want to see the rest of him. I think they call them a dick pic, don't they? Now, call me old-fashioned, and some of you will remember this. In my day, if a man waved his willy at you, you called the police, didn't you? Times have changed, haven't they? Another thing that's changed is these days how quickly people expect you to sleep with them. Angela says most of the men expect her to sleep with them on the 3rd date. Now, in my day, if the furthest I went on the 3rd date was letting a boy try and unhook my bra, and if he did succeed, it was generally a disappointment to both of us. Yes, sex. Well, I don't know about Johnny, but Roger's like a lot of men. He thinks about sex when he's doing something else. I, on the other hand, think about somebody else when I'm having sex with Roger. It's generally George Clooney. Sometimes it's Brad Pitt, but the other day it was Simon Cowell. And I have to say, in my defence, that was completely involuntary. I put it down to a combination of a dodgy curry and Roger's new underpants. You know, I would rather read a good book than have bad sex, but I have found a way to do both at the same time. It's called a Kindle. I do my best not to overstimulate Roger though, and to that end I only ever serve decaffeinated coffee in the evenings as a precaution. But if I really want to dampen his ardour, I replace his Viagra with laxatives. He'll thank me for it one day. And lastly, it says here, anal. I am quite anal. I can't eat an after 8 mint before 8 o'clock at night. I can't drink tea from a mug and a marked coffee. And last week when I was in Tesco's and got to the checkout, I had a panic attack because all my bags were Sainsbury's. Now, this OCD's been letting me down quite a bit, and it's obviously been bothering Johnny, or he wouldn't have written it in his notebook, would he? So I'll have to have a word with him about it when I get home. And looking at the time, it probably is time I went, and before I go, I just need to tell you, Johnny doesn't actually know that I'm here. I left him throwing up in the bathroom. At least I think he was throwing up. He could have been doing something else. And I rushed into the bedroom, grabbed his notebook, and I ran off with it. So if you come back next month and he's better and he's doing his spot, don't let him know that you saw me. Let it be our little secret. And, oh look, I think Roger's finished cleaning the oven by now, so time that I left. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'm Sally Firth.